So, what's up, guys? Today is the 24th of November. And again, I'll be taking you through this weekly technical analysis. I didn't do it on Sunday. There's much that happened yesterday. So, I'll be taking you through this weekly technical analysis of the 24th till the 28th of November, 2025. And so far, so good. The month has been quite fair for us. I believe we'll be having a great end of the year if we just stick to the consistency, or again we just be patient and wait for the market to come across to the areas that we want, or areas of interest that we want, then again we can take this advantage of these opportunities. So far so good. As always, we get started by having a look at the economic calendar and see which are those days that we anticipate to see high volatility in the market, or again which are those days we anticipate to see the market moving with high volumes, or we can anticipate to see high volatility in the market. So as we on today on Monday, I don't trade much on Mondays, and that's why I'm always trying to avoid Mondays. But again, we did have medium impact news on the Australian dollar. I'm looking forward to see the Australian dollar heavily bearish, and again we have high impact, medium impact news on the euro, medium impact news on the pound, again on the New Zealand dollar, and again very high impact news on the euro. And during the New York session, we have medium impact news. Again, not much of the volatility that we anticipate to see in the market today, but let's see on what will happen during the New York session, because again it's a few hours to the New York session. So when you look at on Tuesday, we do have medium impact news on the euro, and again the pound, medium impact news, very high impact news on the dollar during the New York session, that is tomorrow. And again, this will be focusing on PPI and the core PPI, and again the retail sales control, and much more, and again the consumer confidence. So that will be interesting in the market for us to see tomorrow, because again, we may anticipate to see some high volatility in the market. And then again, on Wednesday, we do have medium impact news on the dollar, and again, medium impact news on the Australian dollar. And again, still during the Asian session, we have the CPI on the Australian dollar. I'm anticipating to see this give us some high volatility, or again, some high volumes, which again could help the Australian dollar. I'm looking forward to see the Australian dollar. Could it be bearish, or which again could open opportunities for pairs like Euro or Euro New Zealand be heavily bullish. So with that, we keep that in mind. And again, we also have medium very tomorrow to be, and we'll still also be focusing on this interest rate. So the inflation rate, the interest rate, the CPI, they're all coming together tomorrow. Just one and the same thing, but again, these are different events, which again still occurring all during the the Asian session tomorrow, on Wednesday, sorry. And then again, you don't have any high impact news on the pound, only medium impact news. And that's the autumn budget 2025. And again, during the New York session, that is Wednesday, we anticipate to see high madness in the market, building permits, and all this good trade balance. Yeah. So that's all on Wednesday. And still on Wednesday, we still do have we have madness in the market that coming up on Wednesday. Very high impact news. So this will be happening all during the New York session. So I'll be keenly watching that day. And then again on Thursday, we anticipate, you can see we have very high impact news on the New Zealand dollar. And again, looking forward to see the New Zealand dollar still also heavily bearish. And also now during the New York session, or again the Asian session, the London session, we'll be having high impact news on the euro. So what is happening? I can't see any high impact news on the 27th, I believe. Probably maybe having it's a Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's a Thanksgiving. It's a holiday for the dollar. So Friday, Thursday, it may be a quite slow day, but again, still the market may be moving, may slightly be moving, as long as we'll be away from the entries that I just want us to be break even, then again we can roll up with it. So we also have very high impact news on the euro, that is on Friday, and then again the pound, medium impact news, very high impact news on the inflation rate, that is focusing on the euro. And yeah, that's all. And still on the Thanksgiving will be continuing. How many days? On Friday, I can't see any high impact news. So it is quite an interesting week. So for tomorrow, or again today I'll just be patient. I had some trades that were running, and again I'll let them flow. And we can see we still Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when I anticipate to see high madness in the market. So you can be done with the week if you can catch up some trades by Tuesday and Wednesday. Then again, let the market flow. On Thursday, I can see there's nothing much. We have the Thanksgiving, and probably it will be like a 2 day, because again, Friday, the last day of the week. So again, there's no need of you keeping on gambling or trying to jump on new trades there. So we better be patient with the market also for the following week, because again, the following week, that's when we'll be having. Is it December 1st? Yeah, December 1st to be the start of a new month. So when we get to Friday or Wednesday and you haven't caught up in trade, then chill out, let the market flow. So that's all again on this current understanding of the economic calendar, or again the fundamental analysis. And now let's get down to the technical analysis and see which are those areas that we can align ourselves or set ourselves, position ourselves, then again take advantage of these opportunities. So being a new week, we need to adjust our flows or again our levels of the weekly resistance and the weekly support. Last week, you can see we broke above the previous weekly resistance, and then again we created new weekly highs. So we have now new weekly highs currently there. That's the weekly resistance. Again, that's been the weekly resistance. Now we have a new weekly support down here. And now the market is trading in between these weekly resistance, weekly support. I'm not looking forward to see the market break below the weekly support, because again, we had a rejection from the and created a good weekly higher low down here. Sorry, a higher low. And all that I can see here now, this is the Friday low. As you can see, this is the Friday low here. Friday low, the lowest point on Friday, and then again here we will look at it on the lower time frame. That's the 4-hour time frame. I can see some major point of imbalance. I'm looking forward to see if this market probably during the New York session we will get to see the market touching that current area, coming back to this current area or this monthly resistance, get rejected, and then again take off. You can see these are equal highs. I'm not looking forward to see this market come all the way down here. We have been respecting this current area. It takes 2 points to show that the trend is valid, but again, take 3 points to confirm that this is a trend. So this current area, we could be forming another major point, or again, just form a good higher low, and we could see these prices, once they support well, I'm looking forward to see these prices come all the way up to this break above this weekly lower high, and then again, come all the way to these current prices of 1 or 2 price levels, which again will be creating new higher highs, or again will be coming back to this weekly lower high, which is currently here. So that's a quite interesting move that I'm patiently waiting. I can see we have several days that we have been resisting there, and all that we can be looking forward to see is just waiting for the market. This is a heavy candlestick that broke the previous monthly resistance. And all that I'm looking forward to see is a slight pullback, then give us some momentum whereby the market could give us the continuation of this heavy bullish move, or the continuation of the dollar. So just be patient. This is just a range, and we could break above in the next few days. So next, having a different view on a different chart, you can see this is the area that was broken, higher high, higher low, higher highs were created, and now we have this as the weekly, sorry, as the daily high, and then again this is the daily low. The market is just trying to retest this current area. This is just a different chart, so we are coming back to this lower high, and again we could come all the way. I'm looking forward to see it come all the way to this major point of imbalance that we currently have here, and watching it on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, 4-hour time frame, you can see those levels. Those are huge level of imbalance here. And this current area, you can see how the market is rejecting that current level. So I'm looking at it to be continue respecting it and create new higher highs. Lastly, on a different view, you can see also this one has a different prices. So for this one, you can break it down quick fast. Weekly resistance, weekly support. You can see we are now broken. We broke heavily away from this my 61.8. And as I said earlier, since we had been looking at this current area as a weekly, as a major higher low, and so having that higher low at the current area, looking at this is the major level that was broken. That was a 100 price level. It's an institutional point. Once a 100 price level is broken, you can't ignore it. It was broken, but again, the market still rejected it. So all that we can be anticipating to see slight pullback. You cannot ignore this huge candlestick, the previous weekly candlestick. So if I look at it on the daily time frame, where we're looking at the price, these prices, you can see this huge major point of imbalance. When we look at it on the lower time frame, this is the major point that I'm talking about. And all that I can see is these are major higher lows. You can see higher low, higher high, higher low. We haven't created clear higher highs, but I'm anticipating to see we could create some clear higher highs to see this market heavily and flourish, this market flourishing heavily bullish. So let's just extend this. So having that understanding on the dollar index, so all that I'm looking at in these other major pairs, I'm looking forward to see all these other major pairs heavily bearish, and it's just a matter of time to see these flow, or again these trades flow as we expect. So as usual, the first pair of discussion that I want to talk about is the New Zealand AUD/USD, sorry, not the New Zealand AUD/USD. And again, for this trade, we are now getting closer to, trying to break this monthly support. And for this trade, we have been patiently waiting to see how the market would roll out from this current area. Last week, we broke the previous weekly support, and even we broke this institutional level, the 0.65. And then again, now we can adjust this current area. That's the previous weekly lower high. Then again, we have now new lower lows which were created. You can see this current area we had now. Let's just zoom it on the daily time frame. You can see this current level. We had this major lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Once lower highs are created, we anticipate to see new lower lows. They didn't create new lower lows, but again, we created some pressure to create new lower lows. And I can see this market broke below this current area, and now we are at this current level. So this being the weekly resistance, and then again we have this the daily resistance. That's the Friday high. Then again, the Friday low is just coincide with the weekly support, so we cannot keep on drawing it again. And for this trade, where did we start the journey? The journey started all the way from this current level, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and now we are now trying to invalidate or again break below this current level, because again now the market in the lower time frame, the substructures, the market is forming lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. And all that I'm looking at is to see this market create some good lower highs and then give us the potential of continuation of this bearish move. So earlier during the Asian session, with the market tried breaking below. Again, this was a major point of imbalance, which is currently here. You can see how the market has rejected it during the Asian session. We had high impact news. Yeah, was it today? Yeah, we have the medium impact news. You can see. So that's where we had that huge rejection. And I'm still looking forward to see this happen. And then again, the market closed still below the previous week. Friday high, and the market continued breaking below these current levels. And for this market, where am I looking at it to be on that heavy bearish move? Since we broke below this major level, this monthly support, and then again this is the current area that we are looking for to see being broken, whereby we create some lower low, and then again lower highs. Looking forward to see new lower lows be created below this current price level, and then again these prices could they come all the way to this current area support here. This is the level that I'm looking at to see these prices to come all the way down. So we have closer to another 120 pips with this trade, and you can be risking. You can risk your trade because your stop loss will be probably closer to 50 pips away from the previous this resistance that is currently here. So be patient with this trade. You'll get to see high volatility coming up, high chances, great opportunities still lining up, and yeah, it's just a matter of time. You can see this is also a huge point of imbalance. Slightly, the last point of imbalance that I can anticipate is this. The craziest thing the market will do is just try to liquidate itself up here, but I'm not looking forward to see it break above this current area. So be patient with this trade, and then again, you can be looking forward to see it heavily bearish. So that's all on AUD/USD, and then again, we have New Zealand USD. For New Zealand USD now, for this trade, it's giving me some 50-50. I had been on a 50-50 with a trade, but considering the huge sell-off that happened last week, we now have this current area as my weekly support, and then again the weekly resistance up here. And funny thing about this trade, that's what I want to show you. We have been trading in between these current levels. We are trading now in between this current weekly resistance and weekly support. This current trade is trading at the 78.6. This 78.6, I want to see this price break below this current area. You can see this 17.6 where we had it. We had this. The market is trading at the 17.6. Whenever I see the market break, touch the 17.6, I always let it break and come all the way to the 8.2. So I'm just trying to figure out, could this market break above this current area? No, we have been having huge sells, and so that's why I'm not trying to go against to say that I'm the first one to catch on this trend or the way of starting to be bullish, because I can't see any signs of being bullish. All I can see in this market, the market has been creating and respecting the structures: lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And all that I'm anticipating to see now is this being the daily resistance, the Friday high, is to see this market respect that current area and try breaking below this current level or this weekly support and create new lower lows. And where could we create new lower lows? These lower lows could come all the way down here, where we have the 100 price level. 100% price level. So that's trade, another crazy trade, which you can be looking at 120 pips on that. So, and if you watch it on the 1 hour time frame, on the 4 hour time frame, we previously had this major point of imbalance again, which was heavily respected. And yeah, it was heavily respected. Here we had that huge rejection. And the last point that I can anticipate it, which I wouldn't like to see it even break, is just like here. It's only 30 pips away. So the craziest thing that this market could do is just try a week out and come all the way up here, liquidate this current lower high, and then again get rejections and see this market heavily bearish. So be patient, be patient. It may not even break above this current area. Be patient to see how the market will close on Friday. Sorry, not Friday. Today being a Monday. Then again, you can get to see the flow. So we have broken below this lower low, and we want to see this market respect these structures. Lower low, lower high. Keep focusing on that lower low, lower highs to be created around this current area, and see this market continue pushing lower. So that's all on New Zealand USD. And then again, we have next pair of discussion is euro out. Now, for euro, we have been patiently waiting for this move, and you can see the structure is just respecting, this market is just respecting our structures of how we have been trading. So on Friday, remember I gave out this trade and I talked about it. I said we are not ready to be pushing heavily bullish, but we have now created new weekly highs. So this is the weekly resistance. Again, the weekly support is just down here. So daily resistance, and we have these as the daily support. So having those current areas, those current levels, let's lower it to the lower time frame, and that's the day weekly support. Weekly support, weekly resistance, and then again, this is the Friday low. Now, all that I can see here, the market is respecting the structures. Earlier, I was looking forward to see this market come all the way down here, but that didn't happen. But just been respecting, creating major higher lows. So these are major higher low, higher high, higher low. The market is now trading with this current higher low, higher high, which again didn't break slightly above this current area, but again, these are equal highs. And here you can see this huge point of imbalance. The market came all the way, retested it, created some good higher low. That's the Friday low. And today, during the Asian session, the market has already started taking off, broken above that current area. And all that I can see in this market, I'm looking forward to see it break above this current area, come all the way to this current levels. And we have chances to see this market respect the structures. In case the market decides to break, I'll be watching it, and we're not looking forward to see it now break below this current area. I'd like to see it respect this current higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, create new higher highs above the 1.80 and come all the way to this current level, which is closer to 200 pips. So that's all on Euro out, and similar thing, I'm looking forward to see it happen on Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, also for this structure, we had it earlier. We were watching also the same thing to happen. This is the weekly support. Sorry, yeah, weekly support there. Then again, we have a new weekly resistance. Weekly resistance up here. Then when we break it down to the lower time frame, that's the daily time frame, and see this market is obeying the structures. We had this current area, higher low. We are looking forward to seeing new higher highs. We slightly broke above that current higher high. And then again, when I zoom it in the lower time frame. Now, this is what I want you to see. For this trade, let me first get rid of this. For this trade, we broke above this current area, this descending channel, which is currently here. We broke above it, came all the way, broke above it. Here we had a huge major point of imbalance, came, respected that current area, formed as a Friday low. Is it the Friday low? No, that was the Thursday low, but again, slightly the market came just closed it to that current area. We also formed this now the Friday low, which again coincides with the 2.05. You can see the market is still respecting that current area and this huge rejection. So all that I'm looking at now in this time frame, or again this chart. So let me get rid of this. We are not broken above. This is a major point of imbalance, which has been respected first, second, and again The first time it was being respected, and then again the second time, you can see the market is still respecting it. And all that I'm looking at now is to see this market break above that current area of the previous weekly resistance and come all the way, create some new higher highs all the way to this current price level, which is closer to the mark. Close to 140 pips. But for this trade, remember, I had talked about it, and I was looking forward. We were looking forward. No, I'm not the only one. So it's analysis for everyone. So I was watching to see this trade come all the way from this current area. You can see these were 50%. So I was looking forward to see this trade come up to all the way to these extension levels. It's still how many number of pips? Oh, already took off. So yeah, I was focusing on close to 270. But again, since already 80 pips have moved, we are anticipating to see probably 170 or a few number of pips on that trade. So be patient with it. And then again, you can roll up with it. And that's why I'm saying New Zealand USD, I'm looking forward to see it heavily reject and continue being on that heavy bearish move. So, because again, New Zealand USD moves direct opposite of Euro New Zealand. And now these are the pair of discussion, which everyone is now patiently trading, or again, patiently to see how the market will react. Now, this is gold. And for gold, I want you to be keen with this. Due to the fact that last week we closed quite undecided, and when we were trading it, or again, when we were analyzing it on the weekly technical analysis, I was looking forward to see the market come to reject this current area. It was a daily point of imbalance, but now we have formed some new weekly resistance and weekly support. That's the weekly resistance. And we have the weekly support at the price of 4,000. So you have respect to those current areas. You can see the market, it tried breaking below the previous weekly support, but that didn't break. It didn't break, but it respected a major lower high. So we can see the pressure of sellers coming in, of sellers coming in from this current area. Now, all that I'm looking at now, in this current week, the market has already started being bearish, but again, it's not trying to come and liquidate all these buyers who are coming in, or this demand that is coming in at this current point. Because these are huge demand points all the way from the 4,000. This market is trying to liquidate all those buyers. And remember, for this trade or this market, what we were looking at is previously on the weekly time frame, we had this huge major point of imbalance. So could this market, because this level hasn't given us major higher highs, we are looking forward to see this level come, or the price of 3,800. Could it give us a good major point of imbalance? And remember, we also have another major point of imbalance down here. But I would like to first see it come all the way to the price of 3,850 or 3,830. So now, when I watch it on the daily time frame for this trade, this is the pattern that we have. This is the Friday low. You can see the market was heavily bearish. We came all the way down there, and we came to this current level, which again coincides with the 4,100. That's the Friday high. Now, when I zoom it in now for this trade, and remember, I've been updating you, telling you we have some major levels here that we need to be watching. I gave out on Friday and again on that day. Yeah, I gave also on Thursday when I said, be patient with this trade. You can get an opportunity from this imbalance level, sell it. Then again, now for this trade, we have also come back now, trying to squeeze our prices all the way and trying to squeeze out all those buyers. And then again, invalidate them. This is the major point of imbalance that I'm talking about. You can see that huge rejection, and the market has heavily respected that current area. And all that I'm watching is, you can see that huge rejection. The market has been trading below the price of 4,100. Now, wherever the market is at, I'm watching to see this trade heavily rejected. We have been playing around in between these higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. But again, these higher lows haven't been forming up any new higher highs, any clear higher highs. So all that I can see here, you have been respecting this current area. If this was a higher low, we could have been. I wasn't looking forward to see this current area give us new higher highs, but that came all the way invalidated from this current area, and now this is a lower high, and I'm watching to see this lower high break and break below these lower lows. And we had first this current lower high that was formed, a lower low that was formed here, but again, it wasn't clear because this lower high should give us a break below the 4,100. And now, when I zoom this current trade on the lower time frame, that's the 1 hour time frame, I can see another point of imbalance here. The market has respected it during the London session and again the Asian session. And It's just a matter of time. Let's be patient with it. Today being a Monday, or again tomorrow on Tuesday, you never know. During the Asian New York session, whether the market will play out. The market, I'm looking forward to see it respect that current area. And for my trade, since I already had an entry from the above areas, I also have a new entries from this current level, double entries. My first entry was from here because I had a sell limit, 4,125. And again, my second entries are here, watching to see this current area respect it, heavily respected, and all that I can see, this the major point of imbalance. Looking forward to see this lower high break below this lower low, and again lower low give us momentum of new lower lows coming all the way to this current area. That's where I have my first take profits, and you can see the 1 hour time frame. All these 1 hour time frames have been closing below this current level. So be patient with this trade. I'll be updating you also in the due course of the week how the market is flowing. So also let's check also on a different chart, some clean charts for you to get that understanding of what I'm talking about. Let's watch this. You can see we had this first rejection. That's why we are having this major rejection, and this major rejection gave us the prices coming all the way down here. And when I zoom it in slightly on the 1 hour time frame, I can see this market. We had this first rejection, first huge, came all the way back, bounced back to this point of imbalance, came all the way again back to this major point of resistance. We are now rejecting this point of resistance, and now we have a new level of imbalance, which is that's what we are respecting, and that's what we are watching it to be heavily respected. Or again, the market continue rejecting the current area to give us the pressure of this market coming all the way to the flow and flow up down to give us the flow of this trade coming and create new lower lows all the way below this current area. That's the closest to how many number of pips from the current area? 300. And a break below that, we'll be looking at to see this trade coming all the way down here, 500 pips. And below that, that is 700 pips. Because again, we are anticipating to see this trade come all the way to the prices of 3,850 and even clear these current areas, these current lows, which are currently here. That's all that I'm watching to see this trade respect. And it's a matter of time. Let's be patient with it, and things will flow as we expect. So I'm not looking, my stop loss is just slightly above the previous weekly resistance, which is currently here. So my first entry is break even. And for this other trade, I don't mind, but the number of people I'm watching, we could be swinging all the way 700 until all the way down here. That's close to another 700 pips. So that's 1,400 pips. So be patient with this trade. Even though you can risk even 300 pips. What's the risk ratio? 1:4, close to 1:5. So be patient with it, and things will flow as you expect. So now, we have now had this trade, which we have been patiently waiting, patiently watching it, and keenly waiting for things to flow on this trade. Now, this is the Euro GBP, and for Euro GBP, we had it and we were all watching it we all been respecting it. We've been patiently waiting to see it create some new higher lows, give us major break and continue pushing higher to give us new higher highs. And then again for this trade, weekly support, weekly resistance, and all that I'm looking forward to seeing this trade in the lower time frame is to create this trade to create new higher highs. And we are now trying to break the previous weekly resistance, monthly resistance. A trend to break the previous monthly resistance, and this is the all-time high. Sorry, not the all-time high, the higher highs. But again, now we have this the Friday low, Friday high is the Friday low, which again considers the weekly support. And then again, we respect trade breaking or again retesting this current area, which again we had this huge surge, came all the way, create some good higher low, higher high. The market started ranging, and all that I can see now in the lower time frame, the market has come to a major point of imbalance, which I was keenly watching to see this market respect. Yeah, it heavily respected it. That's nice. It heavily respected that current area. You can see this current level came all the way down here, respected it, broke below, rejected it again. Today supported well, create some good higher low, and you can see now the market is trying to pump and create some new high highs. All that I'm looking forward to see in this trade is this market come all the way to the price of 0.89, which again is closer to 80 pips from the current level. And that's a good huge surge. If I have another account, I'll be heavily risking on this. And again, my stop loss should be slightly here. And the risk ratio of 1:2, 1:3, depending on your entry or your risk risk versus reward. Sorry. So that's all on that trade. And then again, when I look at a different other trade, that is now GBPUSD. For GBPUSD, again for this trade, I'm also on it. And again, the reason why I'm still focusing on this trade, it has a couple number of pieces that I'm keenly watching to see if it will give us some good risk reward. So for these, we have now new weekly resistance. And again, we have now this new weekly support down here, which coincides with our major point of imbalance, sorry, a major point of liquidity, the 78.6, which I'll show you on the substructures. Now, for this trade, look at it. Earlier for this trade, we have been trading all the way heavily bullish, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. But again, here you can see the market has started breaking below this neckline. And all that I can see in this trade is this market has a potential of heavily bearish. Remember, we are looking forward to see the dollar heavily bullish. So could this trade be now pumping all the way from this 38.2, come to the 61.8 until the 6, come to the 50% to the 61.8. Now for this 61.8, remember for this from this current trade, from this current entry, we have close to 350 pips. That's a good game plan if we swing around with it all the way down there. And what I'll do, I'll just mark levels. Then we can be keenly watching each and every single day as we trade. You see whether the market has been respecting those current areas. So that's the first level. We have the first level here. This is my 1.29. Whenever the market breaks below the 1. Okay, I will not keep on doing that 50%, but I'll explain it why. This is the 61.8%, the 1.29 price level. Whenever the market 100 pips above the institutional level and 100 pips below the institutional level, the market liquidates heavily in between that. You can see now when we get closer to the lower time frame, that's the daily time frame. You have the new levels, the previous daily resistance, Friday high, and the Friday low. Now for this trade, remember, we had this current area. You can see now the structures are forming up, lower high, sorry, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Looking forward to see these lower highs give us pressure to create new lower lows. And for these new lower lows, I'm looking forward to see them being liquidated all the way. You can see this slight imbalance point here, which coincides with the area that we had earlier, which was a 50% Fibonacci level. So my first take profits are here on this trade. I have my entries on this trade, and I'm watching to see these entries come all the way to this current level. My first take profits are around here below the 1.3 price level. Because for this trade, all the way from here till here, that's 100, and in between this, that's 50 pips. I know it will break below the 1.29, but those are my first stages for take profit, and I'm keenly watching it to see it happen. You can see things are unfolding, rejecting the previous week Friday high, and when you look at it on the lower time frame, that's the daily time frame, 4-hour time frame. This is what I was talking about. We had this current area. I was expecting to see this rejection happen here because it was on a Friday. We had this at 78.6. Whenever the market touches my 78.6, I always let it come to the 38.2. But it doesn't happen each and every single time. Sometimes, due to the fact that it depends on how the market is reacting or how the market closes on a daily time frame. On the daily or again on the substructure of the 4-hour. Now you can see the market here is closing. It's forming some range. Could it come? Or I have this tendency because already I have my entries here, and all that I'm watching in this trade, I can see this huge point of imbalance here. So could this market, despite it closing this bearish, could this market come, try liquidate it, and then again have that huge sell-off happen? Or because already I'm on this trade, could we still continue selling from this current area? Because already you can see we have rejected the previous Friday high, and then again the market is heavily rejecting that current level. You can see also the daily time on the 1-hour time frame. What does it show? Some slight support here and some heavy rejections happening here. And these heavy rejections, if I watch them now, you can see they are reaction at the 78.6, heavily rejected the 78.6, coming all the way to the 38.2, and I'm looking forward to see them come to the extension levels down here, all the way down here. That will be great. The market may slightly pull back, but for this trade, remember we had these lower highs which we are looking at. These lower highs, The market has come all the way to the 38.2. Sorry, it came all the way to the 50%, got rejected, that 8.2. And for this trade, we have the extension levels. As I've said, I'm watching to see this trade come all the way down here. And that's why I'm trading it in this manner. Forget about now this trade and these 23.6. So let's get rid of the 23.6. So it's rejecting that 8.2. And we are looking forward to see it liquidate all the way to this current level, break below the 0% of the weekly support, and sink all the way down. So that's all that I'm looking at in that trade, that chart. And let me just close it there. Yeah, that's better. So lastly, we have now this the pair US30. For US30, again, it has been respecting the structures. And for this trade, also, could we get the chance of seeing this market heavily bearish or again continue slightly bearish? Probably liquidate itself down here below the monthly support. Or what is likely to be happening? Okay, I'm not trading this trade, but I'm just giving it for the opportunity of anyone for anyone who trades. So this trade, what I'm watching, remember for this trade, we have been looking at it heavily bullish, but now, crazy thing is that this trade, this is the weekly resistance, weekly support. Where did we come? We came all the way to the 38 monthly support, monthly resistance. We rejected that monthly resistance. And here we have my 17.6. That's why you had the first rejection, whereby the market started rejecting it, coming all the way, trying to pump higher, coming to the strong point, slightly getting rejected. And I'm looking forward to see this trade. Could we break below this current trend line? Then again, give us some momentum to create some good higher low at these current areas, major points of imbalance, which can be clearly seen on the daily time frame. So you can see this daily time frame. These are major point of imbalance, which we had the first rejection. So this being the Friday high, I'm looking at it. Could this market continue respecting it? You can see Thursday we heavily rejected that current area. Friday heavily rejected it, and this is happening now again. So could we get this during the next session, or again, how the market will close during today's session? How the daily candlestick will close will determine much, because again, if it continues rejecting there, we could see a break below this current level and see these prices come all the way probably slightly below the monthly support, which again to these current areas. And the reason why I'm talking about these current levels, I'll show you in a minute. The reason why I'm talking about those current areas is when I take out of this higher low and this higher high, I can see we have our 17.6 price level just down here. Considering the major points of imbalance, you can see also it's trading at the 38.2, similar like GBPSD. So anyway, that's all, guys. I don't know what's happened. Yeah, I think my mic. I guess my mic. I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, it started misbehaving when we're just shutting down, or when we end this live. I believe this will be of help to you. And again, in case you have any question, hit me up and I'll be ready to answer. And I would like to stop it at that. But again, I'll be updating you in the due course of the week on my day-to-day technical analysis. And I'm looking forward. Let's swing big all together. It's all free before I disappear. So it's adios for today and bye-bye.